Oh, well, hey, good morning. This is Gray, and I'm here for a Riker's Reader's Morning. This session is for pre-K through K, so some of you might be reading, some of you might not be. Maybe you have mom, dad with you, brother, sister, aunt, uncle. That's okay. This is all meant to be fun. But before we get going, look at the slide there because Riker has something to say to you. He says, "Good morning, learners. Have fun with Gray." Well, my name is Gray, and it's not because of my hair, okay? But even though that is Gray, and I'm here to host today. I'm the host of the session because we all know who the star of the session is. It's that guy right there, Ryker. And he told me that we're going to talk about colors and shapes in today's lessons. So let's move on to our next slide and we'll find out what it is that we're going to talk about. Oh, section 1, we're going to talk about colors before we talk about anything else. And do you have a favorite color? Is it a primary color? How about a secondary color? Now, Ryker didn't tell me what colors we were going to talk about, but he did tell me that one of the colors is a primary color and one of the colors is a secondary color. So we'll find out how we determine what is primary and what is secondary as far as colors go. But before we do that, I just want you to take a few seconds and think about what your favorite color is. Okay? Just think about your favorite color and keep it up here because you're going to find out here pretty soon if it's a primary color or if it's a secondary color. I have a feeling that we're going to look at primary colors first. Okay, primary colors. There are 3 primary colors, and those 3 primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. So, red, right there. Oh, I got a yellow circle. How about that? Yellow and blue. Now, a primary color is just that. It's not a combination of colors involved to make the color. In other words, red is red. It's not made up of red and or yellow and blue or pink and purple or anything like that. So you have 3 primary colors, and it's from those primary colors that other colors are made. And you'll learn as we go through a few sessions how this works. But all today we're going to do primary and secondary. So where's the blue color? It's right there. Where's red? Point to it on the screen. Did you point to this one? If you did, you're right. And then here we have yellow. Okay, red, blue, yellow. Remember that those are the primary colors. Now, secondary colors. To get secondary colors, 2 primary colors are mixed together. Okay? And how you do that is the secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. Okay? Well, we don't have orange, green, and violet here, do we? It's okay, watch this. Let's see. In order to make orange, we need to add red and yellow. If we add red and yellow, we're going to come up with orange, and that's the color of that arrow. It's orange. It may not be the best orange in the world, but it's orange. Now, blue and yellow makes what? Blue, yellow. We have a green arrow. And then we have blue and red. And that gives us a violet color. Blue, red, and there's our violet. So in order to come up with the secondary colors, remember, those are primary colors, blended together. Okay, so let's take a look at secondary colors. What the colors did we say they were? Orange, purple, green. Okay, so here we have orange, an orange background. Now that number 1 is really sort of red, but it's close to orange. And if you remember, when you were blending colors together in order to come up with orange, red was one of the colors, wasn't it? Here's green. We have a green background, and we happen to have a green block here. And remember, what colors did we join together? That was blue and yellow, produced green. And then purple. Okay. Or violet. It's blue and what was blue and red. So there are the secondary colors. So we've talked about primary colors, we've talked about secondary colors, and let's keep moving. Wow, you guys are doing a really good job out there. How many of you like what you're doing? Let me see those hands. Hands up. Hands up. Oh, I'm having a good time. Oh, I'm having a good time. Ryker's sleeping. Okay. We went through our primary colors, we went through our secondary colors, but we don't know exactly what color we're going to do in our session today. So if you look here, that button or that microphone is going to, when you play it, when you click on it, it's going to sing a song to you about green and yellow. It's not working in this part of the program, but moms, dads, all of you, the older folks watching with the little ones, you can download this as a slideshow, PowerPoint, and when you click on it, the song will play. But let's move on. I think we're going to be talking about green and yellow. How about that? Green. Okay, so green starts with a G. Okay, and green is a primary color or a secondary color? Which is it? Ooh, put those thinking caps on. It's a secondary color. Remember, we took blue and yellow, and we came up with green. Okay, G. That letter G is the first letter in green. And if we to say the word, there are a couple ways to say G, but the one way that we're not going to say the color of the letters, we're not going to say G, green, we're going to say green. There's a G sound to the G. And then if we add the G-R, now we had G-R-E, G-R-E-E, green. They're going to put an N on the end. Green, 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 green. The light's green so we can go, right? Okay, so green is a secondary color, and it's made from adding blue and yellow together. Okay, turn to the person sitting next to you and say the word green. Okay, did you get that done? All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, look at that. The G is spinning. I like that. Ah, the letter Y. Green was a secondary color. Y is for yellow, and yellow is a primary color, isn't it? Red, blue, yeah, it is. So here's our primary color. Remember, Ryker said we'd have a primary color and a secondary color. This is our primary color, yellow. Okay, so it begins with the letter Y. Here's the letter Y. That's a capital case Y, the way it's set up here. And how do we say yellow? Well, you know, sometimes when we're out playing football or baseball or racing or doing something, We get excited, and we might begin to yell. And usually when we start yelling, we usually get into trouble, but that's okay. We're not going to get in trouble today. All right, but we begin to yell. And another question I have for you, okay, keep yelling. Now, when I'm up real high, I say I'm high, okay? But what's the opposite? What's down at the bottom? I'm going to be low, right? So I got high, and I got low. I got high, low. All right, so I'm going to put yell and low together, and guess what I'm going to come up with? Yellow. Yep. Yellow, 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 yellow. Try saying that 5 times fast. Okay, so we've got our primary color now. We've got our secondary color, and so we've looked at green and yellow. Oops. Well, the block that just turned too quickly is about shapes. And the word shapes is spelled out in block letters. And when you are looking at this at home as a slideshow, take a few minutes and you'll notice there are primary colors there and there are secondary colors. And you should be able to do that. You should be able to help whoever is with you and say, hey, I know what the primary colors are. You see that block and that block? Those are primary colors. And you'll be able to tell them. Okay, so we're going to talk about shapes. And the shapes that we're going to talk about today are the square and the rectangle. Okay, now I have 4 lines here. I have 2 red and 2 purple. Okay, now the rectangle and the square, both of them are put together when you have 4 lines connected. So let's see what we're going to talk about, if it's the rectangle or the square. We're going to talk about the square. Now, notice I have red lines, right? But now I have 4 red lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I put those 4 lines together, I'm going to come up with a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 sides are equal length, and that's how we have a square. They're put together with what we call right angles, I think is what it's called. Okay, it is. And notice how all 4 corners connect like that. If we did it any other way, we wouldn't have a square. For instance, if I went like this, I don't have a square there. I have a pretty funny looking tic-tac-toe box. Huh. Okay, you have the idea, but that's the square. If we talked about the square, well, I guess the rectangle must be next. Ooh, that's neat. Okay, when we talked about the square, remember we had 4 red lines, right? And when we looked at all our lines to begin with, we had 2 red lines, 2 purple lines, and there was different lengths for the red and the purple, and we see that here, right? Here's our red, and here's our purple. Okay, now, this is a rectangle. There are 4 sides, just like the square, but all 4 sides are not equal. But we do have 4. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, and here's 4. And so that you understand how the 4 lines are put together, I've kept the color coding so that we can see purple line, purple line. They're what we call parallel to each other. It means they're on the same plane. No, they're not flying. Okay, no, they're not flying. Anyhow, so the purple lines are going this way, and the red lines are going this way. Now, if we try to do it any other way, if I went purple, red, red, or no, red, purple, that's not a rectangle. That's another shape that you learn later on, okay? But the rectangle, like the square, 4 lines. How many lines? 4. 4 lines. Okay. So, what did we learn today? When you talk to your brothers and sisters or aunts, uncles, whoever you might talk to after the show is over, what can you tell them? You can say, hey, I know what the primary colors are. They're red, blue, and yellow. And I know why they're primary. They're primary because they're not combinations of any other colors. Red is red is red. Blue is blue is blue, and yellow is yellow. And that's all there is to it. And I know the secondary colors. And the secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. Right? And rectangles have 4 sides. And those are made from lines of equal lengths. Oh, not equal lengths, that's squares. From lines of 2 different lengths. And the squares have 4 sides made from 4 lines of equal lengths. So, what did we learn in a little over 15 minutes today? We learned about primary colors, secondary colors. We learned about the color green. We learned about the color yellow. We learned about rectangles and squares and how to make them. And that's what we're going to do for today. So this is for everybody that's listening. You can download, this is a slideshow. If you want to practice, have mom or dad or somebody that knows how to work the computer for you. Go to this website and you'll see it available. It'll be labeled Ryker's Readers Pre-K through K. I've had a really great time being with you today. Ryker's still sleeping, so he's not going to say goodbye, but I hope you had fun. All right, we'll see you next time, which will be next week. Have a great day, everybody.